Welcome. Today's practice will focus on lumbar disc damage, so we'll work on getting some fluid moving into that area and opening that area up so that you experience less pain and have more ease in that area of the body. So for today's practice, we'll use a block and a chair, or you can use an ottoman, your couch, whatever's accessible, and that will be towards the end of the practice. So you can put your block mid-mat, about midway down off to the side. And we'll start on our backs today. So coming down onto your backs, bringing that right knee into the chest and the left knee into the chest. You're welcome to rock a little side to side. Maybe make some small circles on the sacrum in one direction. And then circling in the opposite direction. And then coming to stillness, bring your knees in line with your hips. Your shins are parallel to the earth. Your feet are flexed. And the palms can come on top of the knees, fingers pointing towards your toes. And as you inhale, you begin to soften the belly a bit. And as you exhale, pull that belly in towards the spine. Spine moves towards the earth as we bring the knees in towards the chest. Inhale, releases as we bring those knees in line with the hips. Exhale, engages that abdominal muscles, pulling the belly in towards the spine, spine towards the floor, knees in towards chest. And then inhale to release the knees back over in line with the hips. And just continuing at a pace that feels good for you. Nice and slow, tuning into the movement, tuning into your physical body. Exhales, engage abdominal muscles, pulling them in towards the spine, knees towards the chest. And exhales, begin to soften that belly as the knees come in line with the hips. Just a few more rounds. And let's do two more. Once you've completed those two rounds, we can hug the knees back in towards the chest. Once again, rock a bit side to side if that feels good. Maybe some small circles. Remembering to get what you need out of this practice. And then coming to stillness, putting the sole of the right foot to the floor and then the left foot to the floor. We'll come to rolling bridge, using your block here to place it in between your thighs. It's not touching your knee joints at all. And you're squeezing that block in using those inner thigh muscles. And your palms can come alongside the torso with the palms facing down towards the earth. And begin to snuggle those shoulder blades into the upper back. And notice your tailbone and low back area. Begin to press that into the floor also as you begin to engage your abdominal muscles. And let's take a nice big inhale here. And as you exhale, begin to press through the feet, lift that tailbone, low back area, coming to the mid back and maybe towards the upper spine a bit. Pausing at the top to take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, lowering down from the top of the spine, the thoracic region, through that mid-back region, the lumbar region, and then the tailbone. As we reach the bottom, we'll take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, engage those abdominal muscles, lifting the tailbone, the low back, the mid back, and maybe that thoracic region of the spine. Pausing at the top. Taking a nice big inhale here. And as you exhale, lowering down the top to the bottom with the spinal. Reaching the bottom, taking a nice big inhale here. And as you exhale, engage the abdominal muscles, lifting that tailbone first, the low back, the mid back, through the thoracic region of the spine. At the top, we'll take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, lowering down from that thoracic region through the mid back, coming down to the lower back area, all the way through to the tailbone. Inhaling here. And as you exhale, pressing through the feet, engaging abdominal muscles, lifting that tailbone, low back, mid back, thoracic region, coming up as high as feels comfortable. Pausing at the top for a nice inhalation. Exhaling to lower down from the top to the bottom. Nice and slow. Pausing at the bottom, inhaling here. And as you exhale, engage the abdominal muscles, raising the tailbone, that lumbar region, coming through the mid-back region, all the way up through the thoracic region. Pausing here for an inhalation. And as you exhale, lowering all the way down, top to the bottom. We'll take a nice big inhale here. As you exhale, engaging the abdominal muscles, raising that tailbone up a bit, the low back, the mid back, thoracic region. Inhaling here. And this time as you exhale, we'll lower slowly just halfway down. Nice and slow. Getting that upper back and mid back. Pausing here. Taking a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, lowering down from that mid back through that lumbar region, through to the tailbone, setting the entire spine on the earth. Taking a moment to notice. Noticing any and all sensations. And then removing the block, putting it off to the side, bringing the right knee into the chest and the left knee into the chest. And again, rocking a bit side to side here. Maybe making those small circles in one direction and making them in the opposite direction. Coming to stillness, taking the right arm over the head, softly rolling over onto that right side, taking a moment to pause. And then pressing through that left palm, working your way up, taking a moment here to pause. And from here, we'll set up in our tabletop. So coming onto your mat here, into tabletop, we'll set up our foundation. Our fingers are spread nice and wide. Pointer fingers are facing the front of the mat, parallel to the long side of the mat. Rotating your biceps forward. Eyes of the elbows are facing forward. Shoulders are in line with your hips here. Shoulders are in line with your wrists here. Knees are in line with your hips. And the gaze is straight down towards the floor. So we have a nice long spine. We're pulling the belly in. We're pressing through our palms here. So we're getting some engagement in the torso. All those muscles in the front and the back of the torso. We'll come into a few rounds of Chakravakasana, a flowy type of cat-cow. And we'll start by inhaling to lengthen the spine. As you exhale, we'll tuck the chin, engage those abdominal muscles as we round that back. Bring the forearms to the earth first, and then lower the hips back to the heels. Head is relaxed, neck is relaxed. As you inhale, we'll pull through those palms, reaching our heart forward, leading with our heart space, pressing through those palms, coming to start. Exhale, presses through the palms, chin toward the chest, lowering those forearms to the earth, and then the hips come down, neck is nice and soft. As you inhale, the gaze comes towards the floor, pulling with those palms, leading with your heart space, pressing up to start. And exhale, tucks that chin, rounds that back, engage those abdominal muscles, forearms to the floor, then hips settle back. Inhale, pulls those palms towards you as your heart reaches forward, pressing up to start. And just continuing at the pace of your breath. If you're noticing this might be too much for your back, you can always just come halfway down, find if that might be better. Continue to pull through those palms as your heart leads you forward. And then back to that rounded back, forearms to the earth, hips to your seat. So a few more rounds at the pace of your breath, getting all the fluid moving into each of the vertebral bodies here. All those muscles, tendons that support our structure. And let's do 2 more. Take your time. And once you've completed them, we can bring our hips back and down, coming to a child's pose, maybe opening the knees wide, big toes to touch. Maybe stacking your fists, stacking your palms, third eye resting on something. If you're comfortable with your palms, your arms out in front of you, palms face down, third eye on the earth, you can certainly go there. And just begin to bring your awareness to your breath as you're inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And begin to send the inhales deep into that low back area, the lumbar region. And as you exhale, begin to soften, begin to release any tightness, any tension, just let it go. Sending the inhales deep into that low back area, anywhere you're feeling sensation. And as you exhale, begin to soften, begin to release, letting go of any tension, any tightness, just let it go. A few more breath cycles here. Let's take 1 more full breath cycle here. On your next inhale, we'll pull through those palms, coming back up into our tabletop. And from here, we'll bring our hands 1 palm distance in front of us, rotate those biceps forward, and then bending those elbows back, raising your rib cage, coming down onto the earth. I'm going to scoot back a little bit on my mat. So we're going to come into Shalabhasana here. So to start, let's stack our palms here and rest your forehead on top of your palms. And just wiggle those hips around a little bit. And then coming to stillness, Pressing the pubic bone down as you engage those abdominal muscles, reaching your tailbone towards your heel, rolling those inner thighs up towards the sky, pressing your feet into the earth here, setting up your foundation. And then bringing your arms straight out in front of you, palms facing one another. And the gaze is down. Your neck is going to stay long here. You don't want to strain your neck by jutting your chin out. You want to be in line with your mat here. So gaze stays down. We'll take a nice big inhale and exhale before we start. On your next inhale, we'll raise arms and legs. And exhale, we'll lower back down. Engage the abs, pubic bone to the earth. Inhale raises arms and legs. And exhale lowers back down. Continuing, inhale to raise up. And exhale to lower back down. Do 4 more. That's 2. That's 3. And last one. Beautiful. Lowering everything down, stacking your palms. Forehead comes to the palms, bending those knees. Windshield wiper those feet back and forth a little bit. Just release that lower back area. And then coming to stillness, setting the feet back down towards the earth, setting up your foundation. So we're pressing the pubic bone into the earth, engaging the abdominal muscles, your tailbone's reaching down towards your heels, inner thighs rolling towards the sky, glutes are nice and soft here. So we're going to come up and hold it for a few breath cycles. If that's too much for you, you can continue to inhale and exhale as you lower the arms and legs at the same time. So bringing our arms out in front of us, forward. Continue to engage those abdominal muscles. On your next inhale, let's raise everything up. Let's be like Superman. Take it nice and wide. And exhale. Few more breath cycles. Two more breath cycles. You got this. At the end of that last breath cycle, lower everything down. You can stack your palms, forehead to your palms. Relax everything. Maybe bend the knees, windshield wiper those feet back and forth a little bit. And then coming to stillness, lowering those feet down, bringing your palms towards the widest part of your chest, squeezing those shoulder blades together, pressing up to come back into our tabletop. Very nice. And then from here, we're going to come onto our backs. So coming onto your backs. Lowering yourself down, opening your knees wide. Actually, before we start, let's extend our legs straight out and just take notice of your low back area. Just notice how it's feeling, just taking a moment here. And then from here, let's bring our right knee in towards the chest and the left knee in. You can rock a little side to side again. And from here, we'll come into our Supta Baddha Konasana. So let's put the right foot down and then the left foot down. And we'll open our knees wide here. And the palms can come a comfortable distance from the torso. You can have the arms, rather. The palms can face towards the sky. Let's snuggle those shoulder blades into our upper back. And then take note of that low back area and begin to engage your abdominal muscles as you press the low back into the earth. So you're really feeling the belly working here. Taking a nice big inhale here. And as you exhale, begin to slowly, very, very slowly bring those knees up, taking the full length of the exhalation, nice and slow. And then the feet will come to the floor, the knees will meet, inhaling here at the top. And exhaling, opening those knees nice and slow out to the side. Take your time, full length of the exhalation. Continuing to engage the abdominal muscles, pressing that low back towards the floor. Inhaling at the bottom. And as you exhale, very slowly coming halfway up. Pausing there, taking an inhalation. And exhale, coming all the way up, bringing the soles of the feet to the earth, knees to meet. Inhaling here. Exhale, lowers those knees very slowly. Taking an inhale at the bottom. And as you exhale, slowly raising the knees 1/3 of the way, continuing to engage those abdominal muscles. Pausing there, taking an inhalation. Exhale, presses those knees 2/3 of the way up. Inhaling here. Exhale, brings those knees nice and slowly together. Feet to the floor. Inhaling here. Exhaling, opens the knees nice and slow out to the side, continuing to engage those abdominal muscles nice and slow. Taking an inhale here at the bottom. And as you exhale, slowly, really slowly, 1/4 of the way up. Pausing here. Exhaling halfway up. Pressing the belly to the spine. Inhaling here. Exhaling 3/4 of the way up. Inhaling here. Exhaling brings those knees together, soles of the feet to the floor. Inhaling here. Exhaling, opening those knees wide, nice and slow. And once you reach the bottom, you can begin to slide those feet down towards the front of your mat, and then taking a notice of what's going on in the physical body. Any changes you might notice in the low back area. And then bringing that right knee into the chest, the left knee into the chest, giving a little hug. And then rolling onto one side or the other and making your way up to seated. And from here, we'll come up to legs up the chair for your final relaxation in Shavasana. I'll show you how to get in and out of it. and you're welcome to stay in as long as you'd like. So I'll demonstrate first and then we'll come into it. And as I said, you can stay in as long as you'd like. So I have my right foot scooted close to the chair, maybe a little bit in front of the chair. And then I'm going to come down onto my back, scoot a little bit more, and then rotate my hips. You can use the leg chairs and your shins to maybe help you set up here. So once you're set up, your neck is nice and long, shoulders can snuggle into the upper back. You can have your arms in cactus arms. You can have them just as wide as you'd like, whatever's comfortable. So you're welcome to stay here for several minutes. To come out of this shape, you would hug your knees in towards the chest and roll onto one side or the other, and then work your way up. So thank you once again for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste.